Okay, this is part two. Nick Natpacker coming live from Virginia Beach, Virginia, with part two of Series 5, Episode 5, Doctor Who, Flesh and Stone. Okay, so the Doctor realizes that the angels need to breathe, and they've grown these artificial trees in the forest in order to use their oxygen in order to breathe. So they make their way into the forest to try and find the main control center of the ship so that they can find a way to escape. And when they do so, Amy keeps counting down numbers until she gets to about 3, and then she can't count down anymore because she's dying. If she gets to 1 or to 0, she will die. So the Doctor saves her because if she keeps her eyes open any longer, the angel will take her. Because apparently, when she looked at the angel through the video and it came into the real world, it's in her brain, it's in her mind, and so she has to keep her eyes closed to keep the angel away. So the Doctor decides to take River and the Bishop with him to go to the main control room, and he leaves Amy with the 5 clerics because he knows it'd be hard for her to walk around being pretty much blind. There's a sweet little moment there where he kneels down to give her some comfort because she's sick and she's dying, and River Song is trying to kind of hide the truth from her so she won't be upset. And he says to her, well, there's no reason to hide the truth if she's dying. Tell her she's dying. Nobody wants to be lied to. And yeah, it's kind of rude. It's kind of rude. It's a very Doctor thing to do. It would never enter his mind to lie to someone and not tell them that they're dying. For him, that just wouldn't make any sense. But he does give her, comfort just before he leaves, and he tells her not to worry, that he will be back no matter what. He will return. So 3 of them walk and they finally make it to the control room. The other 5 clerics, on the other hand, they were told not to leave her or he would hold them personally responsible twice. But when the crack appears in the forest, the cleric that's in charge sends 2 of the other clerics over there to check it out, and they don't come back. And the cleric that's sitting there with her doesn't remember that they were even there. The other 2 go over to go check it out. They're gone too, and the cleric that's left doesn't remember any of it. Only remembers himself and Amy, and she's freaking out, wanting to know what the hell is going on. Meanwhile, as the Doctor is getting them into the control room, an angel appears and grabs the Bishop around the neck, and this is when the Bishop knows he's going to die, because if the Doctor closes his eyes to get the angel to move, the angel will probably either snap his neck or squeeze him so much that he can't breathe. So he knows that he's dying. So he takes that opportunity to tell the Doctor not to trust River Song at all, because he was her handler on a prison planet called Stormgate, I think, because she was there for murder. She killed somebody. A very good man, according to the Bishop, and according to River Song, the best man she'd ever known. If that turns out to be the Doctor, I'm going to be freaking. But really, if that turns out to be the Doctor, Lordy Lord. I don't know. I honestly don't even want to know. My like of her is so low at this point. There is honestly nothing she could possibly do to make me like her, even to make me like her less than I already don't like her. Aside from the fact that she was completely blasé about her attitude was completely blasé when the Doctor came up with this plan to use a communicator box to help Amy get to the main control room, because when the cleric that was left walked into the light to go check it out, he didn't come back. He left her his communicator box to give her some comfort so that they could talk, and he talked to her a little bit, and then he got cut off. The Doctor chimes in and says, listen to the sound of my sonic, follow it, and you can get to the control room. And I'm also going to upload some software with a beeping noise that will tell you if you're getting too close to one of the angels, because you've got to walk like you can see them. If you don't, they're going to attack you. Right now, they're in instinct mode because they see that light. They're terrified of that light. They're trying to get away from it. They're not too concerned with you right now because they're too scared of the light. They're not going to bother with you as long as they believe that you can see them. If for 1 second they think that you can't, they're going to attack you. It's instinct for them now. They're fighting to survive, so you need to walk like you can see them. There's this moment there where he's kind of freaking out because she's paralyzed with fear and she's not moving. And he's pounding his hand on the console, begging her, telling her, move, 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 you need to move now. So finally she moves. She starts to walk, but then she trips over a branch and she loses hold of the communicator box. The angels almost get her, but luckily in the end, River Song manages to fix the broken teleport her out of there. So long story short, the angels were sapping the power from the ship, and what they didn't realize was that when they sapped the power, they were also sapping the power that goes to the anti-gravity system. So the Doctor used that, and just before the entire power was lost, he told River and Amy to hang on to anything they could get their hands on, hold on tight. And when the gravity was lost, they were holding on, and the ship tilted up, right side up, and the angels all fell toward the crack. Because apparently, in order to seal the crack, at least temporarily, it required a complicated time event. And at first, the Doctor was going to throw himself in there because he himself is a 900-year-old time-traveling alien. Is a complicated, more than complicated time event. That's what the angels initially wanted, was for him to throw himself in there so they could be, I guess, rid of him. River offered herself for a moment there because she was a time traveler as well, but I don't think she had enough complication for it to work. Either way, though, the gravity was gone. The angels got sucked into the crack. It was temporarily sealed, and all was well. They finally managed to make it out back onto the beach. He and River said their goodbyes, and she swore to him that she'd meet up with him again at the PandoraCon, whatever that's supposed to be. And of course, she wasn't going to tell him. He says, "Oh, that's a fairy tale," but she's not going to give him any real spoilers. So they go back onto the ship, him and Amy, and she says to him in a small little voice that she wants to go home. And you could see the reaction on his face. He was like, "Uh-oh, now I've done it. Now I've gone and done it. I've scared her so bad she doesn't want to be here anymore." That's the one thing that the Doctor is completely terrified of. For a man who's not scared of anything, that's the one thing that scares him to death, is the idea of his companions leaving him. But she saw that look on his face, and she's like, "Oh, no, I just wanted to go home to show you something." He takes her back to her house 5 minutes after they left in the first episode to show him her wedding dress and to enlighten him of the fact that when he came to get her, it was the night before her wedding. And she says to him, "Oh, almost dying there like that gave me a chance to think about things, about what I want and who I want." Okay. As I was sitting here watching this scene, I was thinking to myself, "Oh, good God, please stop doing this." I was really starting to have, monumental amounts of respect for you. Please don't make it drop down to 35,000 notches by throwing yourself. Okay, I thought Martha was bad with the whole being jealous of John Redford thing. This was worse. Because, yes, Martha was jealous, but she never got to the point where she was throwing away her dignity. She literally launched herself into the Doctor's lap and started kissing him. And he's like, "Whoa, wait, I'm a 907-year-old alien. What? You're a human being, and no, this cannot happen." Obviously, not because she's human. That's just an excuse. And not because he's 907, because that's crap. Because she doesn't know what she's doing. This girl doesn't know what the hell she's doing. And I'm going to come back to that in part 3. And just